What's up, guys? I'm here in the NugSmasher factory in the hot box. We're working with a little bit of bubble hash today. Check it out. So I'm here with Daniel and the camera guy, Isabella.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm going to show you how I just run through and start to get a recipe for bubble hash. I don't know the quality of this. You know, I really don't know the history of it. It came to me yesterday. So I know that the strain's apple fritter. And I know that the flour is greenhouse flour. So, but I know that this guy's that sent it to me is a master at washing. So he said this is some good stuff that I'd like. So let's check it out, see what we get. So what I did is I took, I just chipped off about 8 grams out of this brick here of this jar, which I have right here. And I work with it with my hands, and I got it warm so that I could get it into a, it's about a 1/4 inch thick, maybe a little less, into a little brick that's gonna go ahead and fit inside a 37 micron bag, if you guys can see that. Okay, so what I'm gonna use to do this, this 8 grams of hash, so I'm gonna use 2 37 micron bags that are 3.5 gram size, and then I'm gonna use one, actually a half of a 6-inch 25 micron sheet. And I'll show you guys how I bundle it up. But first, let's take our little brick over, and we're gonna go ahead and weigh it, okay? See my scale zeroed out here. And I'm just a hair over 8 grams, we'll call it 8 grams, okay? That's important because we wanna know what we get back out, our formula back out. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the 25 micron square, and I like to get it over on one side in 3s, so I'm gonna cut it directly in half. I'm gonna see how this works here. I'm gonna trim some off this side, but I'll just start like this. I like to go ahead and fold this side over like this, and it should stick to your brick. You should start to be able to work it in and stick it right to your brick there. And then you can do the same on this side. Now, typically, if you just leave it in the square, the reason we put it inside the bags is to hold the surface area, so we know, so we don't press it and have blowouts, so that we know how much surface area pressure to put on it. So we'll go ahead and put it in the 25 micron screen. That helps to filter it. You can see the extra that we have left over here. We're gonna leave about the same as we have on the other side, right here. And then what we're gonna do with those is just go ahead and fold those over. And we're gonna leave the extra, the excess. This is gonna be the top of our extraction, where the fold is. And our plan is to go ahead and slide this in a 37 micron, 3.5 gram bag. Okay, so you see the excess, the fold over of the 25 microns on the top, bless you, and the bottom's clear here. So I'm gonna continue with that trend, and I'm gonna fold this over on the top. I'm gonna trim just a little bit of it off because it sticks over the edge there a little too much. One of the nice things about our bags, guys, is they are double back stitched all the way down, so they're not gonna come unraveled on you. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna stick it in this way, in this bag. This can be a little tricky sometimes, so. And what this will do is this will hold my shape so it won't roll under pressure. And you just slide it down in the bottom of that second 37 micron screen. And remember, all of my excess is here at the top. I'm gonna make this so it just folds over once, just like that. I'm gonna trim just a tiny bit off, just like I did the other one. And then what I'm going to do from this point is go ahead and measure it so I know what kind of surface area I got working. The camera guy's getting me a ruler. Now when I go over here to our IQ, the dimensions are in inches, so you know that's how we do the dimensions there. Any thoughts of changing that, having a change to millimeter?
You definitely have a different vision there.
Yeah, okay. You guys, if there's big requests out there for millimeters to inches, let us know. We can maybe put that in the options screen. We're always looking for new options. So I'm just a little under 1.5 inches here, guys. And this way I know that I'm right at, because it's the width of a 3.5 gram bag, I'm just under 2 inches. So I'm gonna say 1 inch and 1 3/4 by 1.5 inches is my surface area. So I'm gonna go 1.75, oops, I screwed that up, 75 by 1.5. As long as I have this set to custom size up here, it's gonna give me that for a surface area. Then all I'm gonna really do is come over to my, well, I'm gonna raise my plates first to about where I want it here someplace, you know, so it's gonna hold the parchment and whatnot in. And then all I'm gonna do is go over to my ramp mode, and we have a presetting, and I'm gonna start out, I typically start out to see what I get the first time on hash. I just hit the hash setting. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna start the pressure, and this is what's so important. Based on the surface area size that we just put in, it's gonna start the pressure at 100 material PSI, so that's really light pressure. And then it's gonna ramp the pressure all the way up to 450 there. The only thing I'm gonna do is my temperature, my starting temperature is 120 and my ending's 175. Because I'm just starting with this, I'm gonna go up to 150 on this. Oops. I'm gonna start at a little higher temperature just to make sure I don't have a blowout on this, and to see what I get on this particular one. And probably the next run, depending on what I get, I'm gonna leave it the exact same. But that's all I'm gonna change on this. And I'm gonna throw this between a piece of parchment and hit start. It's gonna have to warm up, so I'll hit start now. I'll hit proceed. Now, it's gotta warm up to 150, so I know I have a minute. And I'll show you how I do that real quick and easy. I typically will just get 2 pieces like this, and then this I'll fold over the sides here, you can see. Now your 2 independent pieces of parchment floating, so if something happens, you're not gonna lose it. And then you have a side that comes up on each side, so you have a little fail safe there. And then, so at this point, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for it to get a little closer to 150. And if you know you're gonna do a hash extraction, you know you're gonna start at 150, you can let the thing warm up to 150 before you hit start. So for instance, if I hit stop here, I can set my temperature to 150, which it is right now, right? It'll warm up to the 150. And then I can come back over to my ramp mode. Boom, I can hit hash again. And you know, I'll be ready to go. I'll put 150 in, and then I'll be ready to go once it hits it, and then I'll hit start, and it'll start immediately. So that's what the machine's waiting on. So stay tuned. We'll let it gear up to 150, or actually 145, so you can see how it does it. And we'll see hash extraction, guys. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, we're back. As you can see, the bottom plate's almost there. All that I'm gonna do is go back over my settings, make sure that my custom setting's still in 1 3/4 by 1.5 inches, so that gives us a surface area. And then I'm gonna go back over to here, and I know that if I'm start temperature is 144, I know that I'm gonna start immediately as soon as I press start. So I'm gonna go ahead and put just 145 in there, so I know that it'll start as soon as I hit it. And so basically what that's gonna do is it's gonna start the pressure at 100 PSI. It's gonna end the pressure at the end of 6 minutes at 450, so it squeezes it out after it heats heats the product up. It's gonna start at 145 degrees, and it's gonna end temp at the end of the 6 minutes at 175 degrees. I show you how I put the brick in here. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the excess material up. I showed you how I got 2 pieces of parchment here that I'm gonna stick in the IQ. And I'm going to do that now. So what's great about the IQ is, you know, I hear these expert guys that wash, that are really good at washing, going, I can never get a consistency out of my hash to rosin, and it really costs me a lot of money. If I could get a really good consistency out of it, you know, I would have such better luck in terms of my sales and my market and my downflow. So really interesting to hear that. I've heard it more than once. But that's what the NugSmasher IQ is going to give you. It's going to give you complete consistency. We don't know where this is going to break loose, so we're looking at the material PSI, and then we're looking at the temperature, and then you're going to see a break loose point where this thing just starts squealing and pouring, and it's nowhere close to where it's at now. So that's where you start to get your recipe at. So then a lot of times you can just come and get your recipe, and then you can hit your hash, the strain, just as you've made it, as you've washed it. You can go right to it, and it really solves your issues. So you can see how my PSI's raising with my temperature over here, and I'm starting to get some rosin coming out now. Rosin's starting to come out. So we're at 160 degrees at 200 material PSI. And you really just let the machine do its job. And if we feel like that this isn't enough time, we can simply tap on it and adjust the time at any time. So that's what's great about the IQ. Everything can be adjusted on the fly, and it's there to help you work out your recipe, so you can put it in terp files and you know, have an exact recipe for this apple fritters wash that you do. So anyhow, and this is only, again, 8 grams of hash, guys. We're gonna do a bigger one once we work out the recipe here. But it's 8 grams of hash that went in. So we're, you know, maybe 25% into the extraction, and we'll be really interested to see what the yield is back, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Our temperature's right at 100, and we're at 175 degrees, so it's reached its temp. And it's just going through the final motions of 2.5 minutes and squeezing the rest of the pressure out. So it's ramping up slowly to its material PSI, full material PSI, which is 450 on the hash extraction. You're gonna do more on a flour extraction, but not on this type of extraction. And you will get, so we can do the rest of this, you know, and work out an exact recipe, and you will get the exact same results. So that's what's real nice about working with the IQ and working with the exact material PSI and this amazing computer. And the other thing that we've noticed is we don't have a lot of hash settings in the terp files, so look for a new update on that, right, Daniel? Yeah, we'll add everything in so you can just load your recipes right on the IQ here on the terp files on the NugSmasher app. You can find that on the Apple Store or Google App Store. We do have a few new projects that we're working on here in NugSmasher, don't we? A couple things pretty neat. Yeah. Yeah, we're working on a pro version of this machine that is absolutely freaking amazing. Going to be an expensive machine, but a commercial machine that has every available option. It even has water-cooled plates, so you can get the plates cooled right down to where you want them. So, but a variable speed motor on it. It's a complete hydraulic system built by us in our machine shop. Eddie has done just a marvelous job with that. And your team's about ready to get this thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly what we're coming through right now, so it's pretty exciting.
It's pretty exciting. Yeah. So it's really neat, and the motor's a variable speed, so we're able to take a lot of components out of it and then give just exact pressure. You hear in the IQ how the motor's turning on and off. This motor will ramp up and down and maintain the exact precise pressure all the time. So like the IQ does, but a little more commercial components inside. But
capacity too, right?
Yeah, a lot more capacity. It's gonna have pro plates, so you know the plates will be this big, as wide as the whole machine here. But yeah, we're excited about that. I'm getting this together because this is almost over, guys, and once it's over, it will let the pressure off just like that. It'll let me come over and see what we actually have here. All right. And you're able to take your puck here, and all that should be left is the plant material and the micron in the puck. So that should have went ahead and purified most of this rosin for us. I'm anxious to see what the yield back is. Hopefully we get 5 or 6 grams back, right?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Woo!
It's very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice. It smells very nice.
It does.
And I think just by looking at that puck, that I would actually, on this strain, I think I'd start the temperature at 150, and I think I'd raise the temp up to 190, and I think I'd raise the time up to 8 minutes, 2 more minutes. I think we get more out of that. And what we can do, guys, and how we're gonna test it is we're gonna go to 190 on this here in a minute, and we're gonna go up to 500 PSI, leave it in for another 2 minutes and see if we get anything else. But, and that's how you work out your exact recipe for hash or flour or whatever you're doing. Right, Daniel?
Every strain's a little different, right? You gotta count that.
Every strain's different.
But you gotta count it down.
Exactly right, yeah. Sure is. And, you know, a lot of them are enough of the, you know, the hybrids, like, as you know, are enough of the same that you can stick with the generality, you know, on things to make it work. But if you really want to be, if you're a real alchemist and you're a professional, as you know, there's a lot of room for an exact recipe to give you just the exact consistency that you're after. Now, the grower that did this for us, he's not using a NugSmasher for his hash, and that's what he was really wanting, some of this buttery consistency. And I'll show you, he sent us with some. Does not look like this.
No, that's what they're doing.
So he's really had, I mean, hats off to this guy. He's really some nice quality, much better than what he thinks. I think he thinks he's got $10 a gram wholesale stuff. I think he's got a lot more than that using NugSmasher. So you smell the terps too, right?
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's really nice stuff. So it's not as shattery as what we were thinking. It's pretty buttery.
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised.
So that's what you want to see. So you can do so much with butter, as you guys know. So you can, we can go ahead and turn this right around, throw it right back in the machine and isolate it, turn it into solventless isolate, which is worth quite a bit per gram. So, camera guy's yelling at me, moving the shit. Guy, you not want me to spin it?
I'm moving it all around.
I'm not moving. I didn't fucking touch it. Ball busted. Here, let me just set it there for you. Here, jeez, I was just trying to get fucking weight.
I mean, the press of that, yeah. Jeez.
Wait, but that.
So this was out of that little 8 gram brick, and you can see the buttery consistency. So I think he's doing it just a little hot and with too much pressure.
That's pretty good.
The grower, yeah.
Hopefully you got like 7 or 6 there.
I think at least 5. But yeah, hopefully 6. That would be something. Drum roll.
Oh.
As you see, guys, so we put 8 grams in of this, which it looked all dark and black and
really dark.
nasty. And we also put some of this in the banger. Heated the banger up. You can heat a banger up to 600 degrees and then drop some hash in to see what the residues left in the bottom. You can also taste the bitterness of the plant material that you're dabbing out of it and whatnot. Now we'll go ahead and put this through, and you won't have that. It's actually rosin instead of hash now. So, but we did lose a little less than 2 grams out of 8 by refining it. This,
75% yield.
yeah, it's about 75%, all right? So this to this.
Oh wow. Looks good.
Okay, guys, So you see how easy it is to do a hash extraction here. What we're left with, about 2 grams of the unwanted plant material in the hash. Here's the rosin here. So the total was 8 grams. We ended up with 6.05 grams of rosin. Here's what the hash looked like before we started. It was actually, once you warm it up and form it into a brick, it turns a lot darker than this. So, but you could see the brick earlier in the video, what it looks like. Nice buttered up rosin you can isolate or do anything with. Like I said, I would change the settings. I think I would go longer term, and I'm gonna find that out right after this. I would go a little longer. I think you can get a little bit more out of here without compromising the integrity, and I would go just a smidge hotter on the temperature. I'm thinking 185 to 190 as the final temperature. So 8 minutes is the final time. Probably start at 140 temp, and then probably end temp at 190. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, customer service is there if you need any help. They're here at the factory 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Update your Turk files if you haven't lately, your NugSmasher app, all kinds of new features on there in terms of being able to follow people and comment and you know, scroll and go back to where you were, that sort of stuff. So the guys are making constant improvements there. Check those out. Those are all free for you guys. And put your results in. We appreciate all your results and your comments. And tell a friend, for God's sakes, about NugSmasher. Thanks, guys. Next time.
Thank you.